Excuse me. Whoa, I hiccuped. Good morning, good day, everybody. Tracy Brown here. So doing the car thing today as I get ready for my day, and you will probably be seeing, if you follow certain other people besides me, that this is Eating Disorder Awareness Month. Last year what was on my heart was just reminding people that all shapes, sizes, colors, orientations, like people, all kinds of people have eating disorders and disorder eating. And of course you can't tell by what a person looks like to make an assumption about whatever they might be struggling with. So if you haven't seen that video, it's on my YouTube channel around, again, February 2018. Go check that out. It's really important to me because, I learned at 18 years old, so it's been 22 years ago, that, what I looked like was the only version of that, and I got schooled pretty hard around people's struggles and the differences of getting taken seriously and treatment and all those kind of things a long time ago. So this isn't new stuff. It's just it's more out there and vocal now, which is really great. But what I want to actually talk about today, this pretty much applies, this message, to all human beings, is that I know that you're going to see a lot of messages that hope is there, and it totally is, and full recovery is possible. It totally is. But I do want to say that what I've noticed, and I'm going to be really, I say this in truth, but in love, is that one of the things that I see, I know get people discouraged, is that, some of these messages are discouraging me, because it's like, if I go do treatment, or I do X amount of months or even years, and have a team and have a therapist and a non-dietitian and all that kind of good stuff, I'll be set. And that's totally, when I say set, like you'll pretty much have like rewired your brain and have a lot of strategies and skills and to be able to ride the waves that this culture brings us around, trying to talk us into like our worth is based on what we look like and all the food rules and fads, and maybe we work with some anxiety or family issues or whatever, and that's that. In terms of like kind of people kind of move on, it's not like the thing that they're struggling with for decades. But for some people that you may know or who are watching this, and I want you all to think that people who, or yourself, who have struggled with dieting for a long time too and can't seem to like fully let it go, or be more at peace with your body, or you're struggling with something, all these really tricky chronic things like IBS or lupus or something like that. And I want to share with you all, and I lump this in with eating disorders, is that there are a lot of factors, as you all know, that cause these things. It's not just like usually one thing. But what I've discovered over the last, we're working on, I can look back over the 22 years I've been involved in all this, and especially in the last, working on 13, but really in the last 7, is that, some people, can do their course of work with things, read the books, have some outside support, and, a matter of a couple years, they're on their way. But for those that not, I want to remind you that there is like underlying neurobiology underneath all this. And what that means is like we can't really think our way out of some of these things. It's almost like we're going to have to help our bodies be out of the chronic fight or flight or freeze. And what happens is we often have these really tiny window of places that feel safe. And what I've been finding over the last 7 years, and why I've incorporated so much trauma integrated work in my work, whether you identify as like having big traumas in your life or not, is a lot of things when we don't have memory of, so they're stored in our bodies, and it gets our body always feeling like it's in this threat response, which makes it really hard for us to slow down, learn, not have these same responses over and over again to like external stimuli. Essentially our body is on, like the light switch on, searching for threat 24/7. Well, it's kind of hard to take in where care is, or even have a lot of self-compassion when you're in that space. Or even, when I say self-compassion, meaning like it's hard to take in that like it might be okay if you don't try to go back on a diet. Your body actually is totally fine. It's just that inside your body might not feel so fine. So I'm just saying that to remind you all that maybe are struggling or have lost some hope, that there's more to it than just maybe even getting refed, because sometimes getting refed brings up all this stuff in a fury, and we need lots of regulation with really grounded, safe people. We need lots of time and experiences to eat and to not diet, and to go at a pace that our systems can start to have some space to lean towards what's good and safe. And anyway, the reason you see me sometimes not talk a ton about, y'all know that I'm full on intuitive eating, health at every size. I mean, it's the least no harm way to do things. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have to do some nutrition stuff. If you got some underlying thing going on, IBS, whatever, but we really need to do the somatic stuff along with the nutrition, along with the intuitive eating, along with the body respect. All this has to go together for more and more people to be fully recovered. So I would love to hear from you. If you don't feel like publicly talking about your struggles, your journey, I would love to talk to you about it, just to kind of hear what has worked but not quite got you all the way there. I'll obviously put it here, because I want to give hope to everybody else who feels like, well, why can't I get there? What's wrong? And it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong, and I want people to know that. So anyway, I would love to hear more about your stories, where you're at, what little piece more you need. You can private message me, you can email me, but I do want to hear from you about all that kind of stuff. And I do want to encourage you in a more personal way of just by hearing into your situation, I think this is what needs to happen, to kind of get over that hump that maybe you've been kind of spinning on for a long time, or it's really close or not quite there, or you have one little thing that everything's pretty good and I'm totally on board with health at every size, except for my brain won't stop counting calories, and I know better and I don't want to, but it won't go away. That's one really good example, and I know that means that you're stuck in some high activation, and that can be fixed. That we can heal that. So anyway, I hope this message was hopeful and helpful to you. If you know somebody that needs to hear this, please let them know. Give them a tag so they can hear and feel through this as well, and know that there are some differences sometimes with people who are chronically struggling, and some people that kind of read some books and do some treatment, and they're good to go. And that doesn't have to be just only for some people. It can be for you too. So thank you all so much, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.